3,
Three,
2.
two, 1. Well, hello.
We've fucked that up already.
How's it going?
Yeah, right.
Good.
I mean, fuck all, really. There's nothing to do in lockdown anymore. I've had my quota from Tesco already, so I just...
Oh, nice.
What is there to do anymore, honestly? Apart from drink, which I'm doing right now. So
that's exactly what I've done. And I was, so I've got to admit, I've had a couple of glasses of wine before we started this podcast, called the Brawdcast, which took a while to get there. Just because I was like, God, I'm so nervous about this first time doing this, and hearing your own voice from the test that we did previously. So I played it back, and I was listening to it, and I was like, oh my God, I can't stand the sound of my voice. But I got over that quickly. That was fine.
Well, gonna have to get used to it, hen.
I know. I was like, oh my God, fuck's sake. But it was. I thought it was quite funny because originally we were going to call it the Brawdcast, which was, I was like, oh, absolutely perfect. So I was like, I wonder if anyone else has got this. Of course they do. So looked it up. And there's a couple of guys who are based in Scotland, well, Edinburgh based, that have started up something called the Brawdcast. And I was like, oh, bloody brilliant. There we go. That's that out the door. And
then
then
typical as well, the same place in Scotland, and we come up with the same name. Although Bra is like an Edinburgh word, isn't it?
It is.
Like it's predominantly Edinburgh, so
of course
I can see why.
It's so common. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, you'd suggested the Brawdcast, which I thought was absolutely brilliant,
and still spelt with bra as well.
Yes, so it still has that essence there. So we looked it up. I looked it up, and I found out there was like an American rapper called Brawdcast, and I was like, oh, for fuck. Right, that's it. That's it over. What's happening here?
The dream
to get around that. So to get around that, I was like, well, God. What do most of the songs do these days? They just change up a few notes, so we can change up a few words. So let's put the in front of it, and we're sorted.
Good old the
Brawdcast.
I mean,
but
it was such a great name. Like, so Scottish, so simplified. Like, we couldn't not go for it, really. So
apart from all that, putting that aside, how have you been? What's been happening from lockdown and all this kind of madness? What have you been up to?
I mean, what month is it now? How long has it been lockdown? What's it been? 3 months now?
Three, just over 3, I think.
So, when I finished my last job, which was I May Destroy You, which was the Michaela Cole HBO BBC series.
Yes.
I mean, I told myself that after that job I was going to, take a little bit of time off, just sort of enjoy myself, enjoy being home. Obviously, I bought my house last year, and I basically bought the house and left. I left to London and, started work and haven't really had any time in it.
Yeah.
So I told myself at the end of the job, I'm going to come home, I'm going to really enjoy my time off, all that sort of stuff. And now I've been off for 4 months, and I really shouldn't have asked for any time off at all. And it's worked out really well, actually.
Good.
I think, do you know what? So I started oil painting again.
Yes.
I mean, I trained as an oil painter, or I trained in art way before I started doing makeup. And I always told myself I was going to get back into it, get back into the vibe of it. I really love oil painting. There's an escapism for it, for me. Yeah. That I just love so much. And
of course.
I've started doing that again and started sort of creating and drawing and things that, I haven't done in about a decade.
You haven't had time to do because you've been too busy.
Yeah. Realising that I actually still can do it. Like, I think you think that, you've not had the practice in so long, you're just going to lose it. But actually, it sort of came back in force, which is really nice and really sort of encouraging as well.
Oh, that's grand.
So, yeah, been doing a lot of that. And
nice.
And obviously, now that the weather's getting nicer, I spend a lot of time just at the beach and sea swimming. So, yeah, if I'm not painting, I'm swimming. It's quite nice.
You actually have like a full kind of suit, don't you, to go into the water?
Yeah.
And is that not freezing?
I mean, I swim in Scotland all year round. It's not just summer months. So, like last year in October, we went on holiday up to Uist. So I was swimming in the Hebrides, which wasn't as Baltic as you would think, actually. And then I love, like the Looney Duke. So they do it in like North Queensferry, South Queensferry. So like January 1st, they'll swim in the 4th. Like at midday or something, and it's absolutely Baltic. So I did that this year on the 2nd of January. Not quite the Looney Duke, but did that this year. Absolutely freezing. But it's just, there's something so refreshing about it. It's amazing.
Makes you feel alive.
It makes you feel, gets the blood pumping.
Yes.
But I mean, I always swim in a wetsuit regardless. And actually, in summer months now, like I went swimming a couple of days ago, and it was like 18 degrees. Not the water, like that. The weather was 18 degrees. So the water was like 10 degrees. It was lovely. It was quite good. But the thing is, I still swim in a wetsuit. Because the thing is as well, like where I like to go swimming in Fife, they tend to get jellyfish. So for me, it's actually a little bit of protection in case you swim against one. It just brushes away, and you can just sort of just something less to worry about, I guess. But
kick it out the way.
Kick it, like literally shoot it. Slap it out the way.
Have you had that encounter yet?
Yeah, I saw a couple of jellyfish the other day. They're tiny wee things. Like, they're tiny. They're only like... Obviously, I'm holding my hands up to make a little circle that only Maddy can see. But
that's
they're
pretty
not
big to me.
They're teeny weeny, like little tiny round heads, and then their legs are like wee as well. But I think I've seen a couple of people get stung by them. I mean, it comes up in a tiny wee rash. It's nothing much, but I just rather would not.
Still, try and avoid it.
Yeah, so... But it's great, like, it's great, it's just nice being able to do it again.
That's brilliant.
Like,
Oh, bit of freedom.
Oh, just enjoying where I'm living, really. It's great.
Good.
Like, obviously, because I spend so much time away from home, so...
Yep.
Actually, just get to enjoy Fife for a wee bit. I mean, not a lot of people will say that, but get to enjoy Fife.
What, because it's Fife?
The best thing about Fife is driving out it.
I only say that because I've got a couple of pals that have moved here from Edinburgh from Fife, and they're like, "Oh, you don't want to stay in Fife. It's it's different." And I was like, "What were you on about?" I was like, "Surely it's what you make of it. That's what counts."
I'd also like
rather
to know
than actual
where in
location.
Fife, where in Fife have they moved from? Because
I think one was
area,
from Glenrothes.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yes, see, there you go. So they were like, don't go to Glenrothes because it's a bit backward. And I was like, right, sound. That's perfect. Even though there's really nice property there that I have been looking at, but never mind.
See, she's gonna defect from Edinburgh and come to Fife.
I know. Well, it's cheaper. Can't really afford much here, but
Well, this is it.
It's Edinburgh.
Get out of the city. Although
I know.
At least for Edinburgh though, they don't have the Fringe on this year, do they? Like,
oh
it's
my God,
which I'm gutted about. As a non-Edinburgh resident.
Yes, but at the same time, I am gutted for the kind of work side of it. Yeah, because it was good for that. But living here, it was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
Just, like kind of getting through the crowds and all that kind of stuff. I think if you were kind of living away from the city, you're like, right, fine, I can leave that behind. When you go, you get away from it. But living here is, I mean, I just turn into the Hulk. When I'm walking through the crowds, I'm like, forget, what is this?
It's bad.
No personal space, nothing.
Do you remember a couple of years ago, we both did the, it was that German opera Was it 7?
Oh, yes. Yeah, at the Playhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember walking with my full kit. Obviously, I think this was before I drove, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? Is that why?
No, I think you were driving.
I mean, maybe I was actually. I actually can't remember how many years ago this was. It was quite a few years ago now,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
But walking along with my kit and just smacking people out the way with my full makeup kit. Like, just get
Oh, it's great.
fucking wait! Just
It's the only defence that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they are.
God,
They're awful. And you, like, the only place that I found I could actually escape from it all is a spot called Skelf, and it's a bike pump track that's in the centre of town, near the crags, you know, so you're in town, you're walking through, you're like, fucking Hulk, all that kind of shit. Get to the pump track, put your skates on, and it's almost like meditation. You can just be like, right, zone out from all the chaos, all the people, and just skate. It's become like my new haven to go to, especially during lockdown as well, because I'm just like, right, I've been doing a lot of skating as well, like from the beginning. And that's the one thing that I've found that I've been doing more of because I've had time, which is quite nice, actually. Because before I'd be like, right, obviously, like, you know, working loads, all that kind of stuff, back to back. And I'd be like, right, I'm too tired. I've got a day off in between, like, jobs. Too shattered. I'm just sleeping or whatever, clean the kit out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd always have that fear of what happens if I, you know, hurt myself or, like, you know, hurt my wrist, that's me at work, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But now...
It's a very, very physical hobby that... Yeah,
yes.
I've never actually really thought about that before, actually.
Yeah, you always have that at the back of your head. But now, because I'm like, well, you know, I don't know when the next bit of work's going to come in or all that jazz. Had a wee bit of time, 3 months now. I've been like, right, fuck it, let's go every single day.
Oh, that's so nice.
So I absolutely love it. And I was at so last night there's a place called Bristol Square, which, well, you know, it's during the festival it gets turned into the underbelly. This massive like purple cow, upside down cow and all that stuff, and have comedy events, and it's basically just a drinking fest. That is it. The whole square gets turned into this patch. Yeah, exactly. Overpriced drinks, all that shit. So now that the festival's not coming, that is open this year. So it's quite nice. I was there last night till about 11 o'clock at night, just skating and having a couple of beers and catching up with folk. And everyone was keeping their distance, all that kind of jazz. There was none of that. But it was nice. It was relaxing. And it was definitely heavenly. So it was good. So I'm pulling out some grinds, some moves, and
it's not well.
Trying to
pulling your moves, lads.
Like, you know what it's like after I'm like a couple of beers. I'm like, oh, fucking amazing, and I'm like, oh god,
I'm gonna do a fucking backflip.
Yeah,
right, great.
Not quite there.
Yeah, I've never really thought about that. Obviously, with the Fringe being August, well, fully August as well. Like, that's a whole part of summer that's harnessed by just tourists and yeah, I've never really thought about that.
So completely empty, which is great. Yeah, fuck it. It's great. And the one thing that you get, which I have noticed, right? So last night I was hitting up this ledge and I had a bail, right? Just a wee bail skidded along the ground, all that kind of stuff, which is fine. Yeah. And there was some guys that were just like, oh, are you all right? You know, are you okay? Are you okay? Like that, you know. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
You know, if I mailed it that
cotton wool.
Yeah, exactly. Mailed it that, it would be like, oh, whatever, mate, just get up. And I was like, oh, I just kind of want to eliminate that completely and just be like, just get more people involved, male and female as well, and just be like, it's okay, no matter what level you're at, you can still do your thing. If you bail, that's fine, and just kind of get that more kind of even.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a positive thing. That's one of the things that I've taken from the lockdown is definitely skating more, and it's, you know, and the people that you meet as well. It's fantastic. I've got a massive new group of, you know, friends and, you know, just a bit of socialising. Yeah, it's good.
And you've been painting
nice.
a wee bit, have you not?
I have. I've been trying to. I've got to admit, my concentration levels are off the scale at the moment. So
I totally agree.
it's difficult. It's difficult. But I mean, there's some, I know it's like typical kind of artist kind of way. It's like, I've got to be in the mood to paint and all that stuff. But it's not. It's not that. It's actually just structuring your day and getting on with it. But whenever the sun's out, I've just been like, right, I need to get out, I need to skate, I need to, socialise, do something productive, come back in the evening, and then I can paint a wee bit.
But obviously, we started lockdown in March, which is still technically winter, almost.
Yeah.
And now it's, getting right into summer. I mean, summer solstice is tomorrow, so, which... the time that has passed in lockdown has been bonkers. I can't believe we've actually been living through this as long as we have.
Do you find that, like, okay, although it's only been like over 3 months, do you find that it feels like longer?
Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. Like, some of the months I feel were longer than others. Like, I feel like June... Oh, wait, no, is it June? No, we're in June now. June is disappearing. June is literally disappearing before my eyes. I feel like May lasted for a really long time. And then I have no idea what happened in April. Like, I don't even know if April... I don't know if I've just slept through it completely and bypassed it. Like, it's really, like, the idea of time in that sense that we've lived through it, and I couldn't tell you what I've been doing, even though at least with painting and stuff I've actually got proof that I've been doing something. But I couldn't honestly tell you what I've even been doing with my days. The good thing is, actually, I've managed to structure my own days that I'm still getting up at a decent time and I'm going to bed at a decent time. I've not really turned into a night owl as much as I can. I'm not really much of a morning person, and I say that is a makeup artist who has to get up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shite.
Yep.
But, like, I think I'm quite proud of myself in that sense, that I've managed to, at least structure my days. So I'm still living as if I would be if I was working. Not getting up at 5 a.m, I want to point that out. But at least getting up for 7, 8 o'clock and then going to bed for, like, 11. You know what I mean? So,
I'm quite impressed by that, because I've been the complete opposite for the past couple of weeks. I've got to admit, I've been a total night owl, so I've been staying up till, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, at least.
1, 2 o'clock. I mean, that's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's not great for that length of time. And then I think it's a case of, like, in the mornings I've been kind of like, well, I haven't got anything on, so I can sleep in a wee bit and I can get up later. And that's a dangerous path to go down, and I do realise that, and I'm hoping that will change after time. But at the moment, I have been in that 2-week slump.
Yeah. I totally get it. Do you know what my problem is? That I'm constantly stuck in a paradox of, I never have time off, so I really, why don't I lie in, have a day on the couch and just totally relax and have a beer. And then on the other side of the coin, it's like, no, I need to use this time to be productive. I never have this time to actually learn what I need to, paint what I need to, do what I need to. And it's like a horrible fight that I have almost every day, where it's like, what do I actually allow myself to do? It's horrible, because it's just putting really unnecessary pressure on yourself. Yeah. Like, stressing myself out for literally no reason. It's like,
but it's fine
true. If I sleep in, I sleep in. It's great. Like, I've not got any responsibilities.
Don't beat yourself up over it.
No.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's just, it's never one or the other. It's like always just making yourself feel guilty for something. But it's just such a weird... I've never not worked in my life. Like, I've always had a job, always been busy. And now it's, you literally can't be busy in that sense. I can't go to work, I can't do this, I can't do that. So, yeah, it's just what a funny reality to live in,
this is like the longest length of time that I presume for yourself, like, that we've been off, not working, in years.
And I mean, for years, it's like the idea of being off for this amount of time is really worrying, because obviously you're not making money. And being self-employed, it's horrendous. Like, you always sort of dread that this would ever actually happen.
Yeah.
But now that it has happened, it's made me sort of view our job in a different way, and maybe not be quite as worried as well. Like, I kind of, we can live through it. It's not the end of the world if you don't get work.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually quite refreshing. Like, I think I'm going to come out of lockdown with a little bit of a new perspective on life, and yeah, I think it's been, for me anyway, I think it's quite a positive experience that's happened, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that side of things.
And that's kind of like one of the reasons why we kind of decided to start this podcast, is also for the next episodes to get people involved and hear, you know, their side of the story, what's been happening with them, how are they feeling about it, and what they've taken from it as well, good and the positive.
Yeah.
So the good and the negative. So, yeah.
Well, because I think as well that, you know, us two specifically, we're self-employed, so with whatever's happened in lockdown, with government funding and grants and all this sort of stuff, we've been on that sort of lucky side of the coin that we've managed to get help, whereas a lot of our friends in the industry are still PAYE and stuck in a certain level that the government hasn't given them anything and given them no help.
Yep.
And it is shit seeing your pals every day sort of, you know, say on Facebook or Instagram or something that they're struggling, and they're really struggling. You know, 4 months without work is a long time. You know, not everybody can save that amount of money to pay their bills, and it's interesting that sort of forgotten group of freelancers where you're still self-employed, but every job that you do is PAYE, so you're employed. It's such a weird thin line to be on. It's odd. So
it's affecting a lot of people in different ways, and I mean, I know that that's kind of coming out now. There has been like kind of articles on it, and you know, people campaigning against it, and kind of news stories coming out. But you know, it's something that's why, do you know, I haven't, with regards to like the news and all that kind of stuff, like, so at the beginning of lockdown, I was, you know, everyone was looking at the news like what's happening, what's going on, and then, you know, it got to a point where I was like, I can't look at this anymore, because it's doing my nothing. It's like,
in so many ways.
Literally, completely. I was like, right, I either drive myself crazy by, you know, looking at all these articles every day and like what's happening and and you think, well, they don't even know, so let's just give it some time, get off it, and as you say, like, try and venture into new avenues, like try new things, as you know, if you're painting, the skating, all that kind of jazz, and you know, try and keep positive, really, rather than focusing on all the negatives, which is so easy to do, and a lot of people have done that. And I mean, a lot of people I've checked in with, you know, in the, not only in the industry but like friends as well, I've kind of I've gone either way, and you're like, right, this is quite a big thing in our lifetime.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, at the
well,
moment,
I mean, our generation's never gone through anything like this, you know. It's gigantic, this whole thing. So
it's
huge. But no one's, our generation, other generations, no one's gone through this sort of thing before. So it's interesting to see how people react. And when I think back to when lockdown started, it literally felt like the end of the world in terms of how people were reacting online, and and now it is sort of like, oh, everything's beginning to ease. Whether it's too quickly or not, time will tell. But it feels like there's a sense of normality. And even obviously with our job, I mean, I was saying to my friends that, like, at the beginning of lockdown, I thought film and TV was dead, and I was like, makeup, how are we gonna do hair and makeup? How is it even gonna work? Like, I was literally like, I'm just gonna have to look for a new job. That's no ifs and buts about it. Either that or become a really famous artist. a really famous artist in 3 months and just make my money there. That's not quite happened, but
it's a good backup.
Yeah, but
that
it's
can
interesting
happen.
that in,
So
in 3 months that this is where we are now, but it's because obviously people were going to panic.
yeah,
people were going to panic, and that was going to happen. But it's just because it's new, and people just don't know how to deal with it.
Exactly.
And obviously we're not out the woods yet. We've still got a bit to go, but it's looking good.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were kind of chatting about how it was kind of like affecting everyone kind of differently, and that's something that I think this podcast would be great for, is to get different perspectives from everyone in the media. So not only your ADs, your producers, your directors, your costume, all that kind of stuff, but people in general that we know that are doesn't necessarily have to be in this line of work.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see how you've been coping, what you've been up to, like what's the positive things you've taken from this. Obviously there's going to be negatives, of course, and that's important to discuss, but the positive things are always nice for a podcast.
I think creating a podcast and creating something fun for people to listen to that is a little bit more of a ray of sunshine, we don't want to focus on the negative things, like what I said earlier about people that are PAYE and not getting any help from the government.
Financial side of it, yeah.
Although in saying that, it'd be great to touch on that sort of stuff from our pals and see how they're kind of dealing with it. But
exactly,
want to stay positive. It's just, for me, it is like, what an interesting time that we're living in. I'm just it's just really interesting, really fascinating.
And the one thing I want to talk about was so if you find more of a connection with your neighbours and people you've been around during this, has that kind of opened up a wee bit? Have you been chatting more or helping each other out?
So right at the beginning of lockdown, it was everywhere online. They were like little cards that you filled out with your name, your number, what house you lived in, and you put it through your neighbour's door. And obviously it meant that if they ended up having to isolate, they would give you a call and you'd go and get their messages and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And because we live in a little suburb in Dunfermline, and it's predominantly elderly people that are our neighbours. And obviously I felt obligated to do that anyway, so I just kind of posted through all the neighbours' houses and did all that, and quite a few of them texted me, and it was really lovely. But then obviously the way sort of lockdown and everything sort of proceeded, none of them ever needed anything. It's actually kind of worked out well, but obviously the help was there if they needed it. Yeah. We're close with our neighbours, sort of either side anyway. We get on really well with both of them. The neighbours on our right are Frank and Linda. They're sort of older retirees, and they're just great, always helpful, bringing the bins and that sort of thing. But very independent and, don't really want for nothing. So, and then our other neighbours on the other side, Callum and Louise, are our age. So, we've seen them loads, obviously, just going out in the back garden, having barbecues in our own gardens, but then having a drink over the fence.
Oh, that's nice. Oh.
But we've been pally with them since we've moved in, so
good.
I've not really heard from any of the other neighbours since. I think everyone's okay though. I know that you've said because you've got a neighbourly WhatsApp, don't you?
Yes, that's an interesting one. So at the start of lockdown, we formed a WhatsApp group. Just to help each other out, if anyone did any shopping or, all that kind of jazz. And we've got kind of various ages in, the close, the neighbours that we're with. So anyway, so that started really nice, and, we started posting, how you doing? Does anyone need anything? Pop into Asda, all that kind of jazz. That was fine. And then 3 months on, I got a recent WhatsApp group, and it was named The Mystery Poo on the group, and I was like, all right, that's interesting.
Oh God, where's this going?
Somebody had left. There was a dog poo shite that was left in the staircase, and they started going, right, who did this? So it started off really, really nice, sincere, and it got to this point, and they were like, right, who's left this shite in the stair? Because it's all over the place, and there's leaves in it, and all this kind of stuff, and it was quite funny, actually. Everyone...
How many times did this shite appear? Can I ask?
So it appeared, it was just the once. Just the once. But I mean, there was quite a big gap in between, everyone being lovely and then the mystery poo popping up.
Okay.
So that popped up, and then everyone was like, oh no, it wasn't me. I have no idea, all that stuff. And one of the neighbours was like, oh, my shoes are clean. I don't know what you're on about. And, nobody would admit it was them, to a point that it was left there for quite a while. And anyway, so it was quite funny just to see at the beginning, obviously, with the whole like NHS kind of collapsing out the window,
camaraderie, and
yes, it was. I mean, it was lovely. Everyone was like the window clapping and pots and pans,
banging bin lids and all that.
Going fucking away, mental escapism, all that kind of stuff. Going party, all that kind of jazz, and I had the bagpipes out, down the road, and all this kind of.
Our neighbour does the bagpipes every Thursday. Right.
I thought it was great. I absolutely loved it. And then I think it was like not last Thursday, but the Thursday before, I was like, right, here we go. And I've been like, I was avoiding being online for a while just because it was getting too much, staying off Instagram and Facebook and all that kind of jazz. And so here's me, like a plonker, open up the window, head out, and I was like, right, here we go, way. So it was just me and one other old codger along the road just clapping, and we're looking at each other like, right then, well that'll be that. That's that over. And like,
no one gave you the memo, did they?
It's like, well, that's it. That's them obviously stopped doing their jobs, so we'll just stop clapping. It's like,
oh, awkward.
I felt really bad. Well, we had
it's
some of the pubs. They've not like fully opened, but they're doing like takeaway pints and all that kind of jazz.
Yes,
and,
I haven't seen any pubs in Dunfermline doing it yet, which upsetting. I mean, I want to get in on that, but
well,
I'll tell you what, over here,
there's been a lot in Edinburgh that have opened up, and it's absolutely hilarious. So there's queues going around the corner just for this, takeaway pint. But some of the places that I've seen serving it don't have any, nearby parks or facilities or anything like that. So they get their pint, then they cross the road, and then they congregate in a crowd and drink their pint, and they go back in for another one. And there's absolutely, there's no toilets around at all. And you've had a couple of pints and you need to go to the toilet. And so I have encountered bumped into quite a few people kind of, doing a wee sly wee pee round the corner. Quite openly. Not sly, actually, quite openly. And we're like, well, fair enough, you haven't opened anything up, so where are we going to go?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like serving...
You can't,
serving people kind of alcohol and food and all that sort of stuff, but not providing facilities to use when people have consumed too much. It's silly. What can you do?
One. You just find a bush.
We found proper camping toilets, so they're actually little like causeys that you can sit on with a little bowl underneath and with a wee lid and everything for like £20 on Amazon. And we were like, let's just have a party. We'll get loads of these. We can put up like a little bit of tarp and make little personalised toilets for everybody, so they don't have to come in the house. Maybe do something like that.
That's a solution. I like that. And I was chatting to one of my friends, and she was saying about her personalised toilet that she made. And so she was out drinking. So she's got a car and she was out drinking, and she used the car as a toilet. So it was just a bucket essentially in the car.
Lord.
And it's got so you put a blanket up, you go in, you have a pee, and then you just kind of like chuck it once you've done, and then somebody else can go in. And I was like, well, that's one way of getting around it. That's fine.
Chuck it where? I want to know where she's chucking it.
I don't know. It's fertilizer, all that shit.
Oh.
Yeah, but I've got to admit that when I've been out skating and all that jazz, I'm like, right, I'm going out, it's like a good 40-minute walk into town. I'll walk into town, go to the place, I'll be like, right, I'm skating. Obviously, I'm drinking lots of water.
Yeah.
Keep hydrated. I'm like, right, shit, where am I going to go? Right, I need to pee. So I find a couple of locations. Mm-hmm. That's been a bush, which is absolutely fine. It's out of public view, all that kind of stuff, and I've had to go.
I found a couple of locations.
Resort.
A bush. Great.
But it's quite funny because I was speaking to a few other people, and they were like, "Yep, so I go there, I go here, I go."
Have you?
And it's like, well, that's going to happen. So
have you invested in a shiwi?
I haven't. I have used one when I've been at Tea in the Park before,
Right.
and
Tea in the Park.
Yeah. Oh,
I know.
Yeah. Ugh, disgusting.
Aw.
Disgusting. Just the amount of pee in the
Yeah.
I do, but I don't mind having a wee squat in a bush. That's fine.
No, as long as you've got a wee bit of tissue
if it's
at
out
hand.
of view and it's exactly. I've got tissue, got hand sanitizer, all that jazz.
There you go.
Absolutely fine. It
Yeah.
keeps you going. So there's no problem there.
Oh, it takes me back to being 14 in the Glen in Dunfermline. Like, so good. Oh, that takes me back.
It's a little flashback for you.
Oh, yeah.
But the peeing's fine, but I have seen quite a lot of jobbies around. Not from dogs. Yes.
I was going to ask this. The jobby that you found in the stairwell, was it a dog's jobby?
It was a dog jobby.
Okay.
Well, yes, for sure. I mean, I can't really imagine anyone squatting and having a jobby in the stairwell unless it was like a revenge jobby. But
why would a dog jobby in the...
Dogs
Dogs are quite clean. They know not to do that
Stuck
indoors.
in someone's shoe, perhaps. That was the complaint.
Oh, was it
and
squished?
It was squished with leaves. So that was in the
Right.
mix. So I think it must have been had a wee wipe and then fucked off.
Oh, God.
So,
or I thought it was
yeah.
like a fully formed Mr. Whippy or something.
No,
okay.
God, no. It was, I mean, it was pretty big.
Yeah. Oh,
I've got to say, it's pretty big.
Jesus.
But,
Okay.
yeah, I have seen some human jobbies.
No.
Out and about in town.
That's not...
Oh, yes.
No.
Oh, yes.
No.
Yep, absolutely. Taking it too far, having a jobby outside, that's not good.
But if you're out and
That's
about...
something you can hold in.
Surely if you're out and about in Edinburgh's... I would say Edinburgh's pretty small. Like, surely if you're really needing a shite, just go home and come back out and meet your pals again. Do what you used to do when you were younger, You wouldn't...
You would think that, but no, not when you've had a couple of pints. That's full on.
Do pints make you
Jobby
shite?
Central.
Does it?
Well, for some people, maybe I'm not talking about just pints here. It might be other incentives on the go.
Right, okay. Ooh, just taking a big old shite in Princess Street Gardens. That's terrible. Oh, Jesus.
Oh God! But yeah, I have encountered some of that. But yeah. But talking about shite, it got me thinking about. Do you know what I wanted to ask you? Do you remember about it was a feature film that we both worked on. The first one we kind of properly worked on together, and there was a mystery poo that appeared in a towel in a bathroom. And we were filming in a house, and someone came out and they went, "Somebody's done a dump in a towel," and parcelled it up really neatly and put it in the corner of the bathroom, which was bizarre because there was no. I remember everyone moaning about, there's no toilet roll in the toilet, and we were like, well, you could just come to us because obviously we've got tissues and stuff like that. That's fine, as you do. But yeah, somebody gone into a full jobby and parcelled it in a towel. That was.
I haven't thought about that in years. Oh my God.
I just had a little just talking about jobbies, had a wee flashback about it. And I was like, and I remember us all debating, who could this be? Who has got a jobby fetish?
And now I remember who we thought it was. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot about the jobby towel. I think I just must have buried that in my subconscious to never be thought about again.
Yeah, that was one thing. And that led me on to, I've got to talk about an experience. I know it's all about jobbies, but, fuck it. An experience I had when I was working in the theatre. Right, I'll tell you one story, right? So,
oh, God.
I wouldn't say who it was, obviously names and shows out, that without saying. Anyway, so I started off in theatre as a dresser. Mm. And I had a quick change coming up. It was quite a big show. Big show. Quick change coming up. I had 30 seconds to do a full costume change on this wifey. And so she comes off, and the first thing she says to me is, "I've shat myself. But don't worry, it's caught in my tights."
Oh my
God. And it was like, what? In that split second, when you've got 30 seconds to change, what do you do?
You've got 30 seconds. 30 seconds to change it. And she's 30
seconds to change it, and you've got shite in your tights.
She spent 15 seconds telling you about the shite in her tights.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
It was a quick. I've shit myself. It's in my tights. That was it. Right, sound. Fantastic. So I've got to say, as I was, undressing her and helping her get into this other Goliath dress, I did see a little bit of the jobby stuck in the tights that had trickled down.
Oh my God.
But there was no room for her to change this was about 2.5 hours long, show. There was no time for her to change at all.
Was there no interlude or anything?
There was 10 minutes, but they had to get her into, during that time they had to get her into another costume, using that time to be set for the second half. So, a quick clean up. But anyway, that was just a jobby story for you. I thought from the theatre. It's quite a good one. And another one that I remembered,
she must
talking
have
about bodily fluids.
Yeah.
Oh, she was honking. I mean, I was like, disgusting. I love stories like this, though.
Oh my God.
And it was another one on a show, and they had to put this kid on a harness, and he was flying around and all. He was like, oh, whatever. I don't know what part. I don't like it. Anyway, and he he was violently sick, and he was rotating round on this harness, like he was like flying and all this kind of stuff and dancing. And while he was sick, it flew into the audience.
No.
So as he was rotating round, he barfed, and then it just went into everyone's faces in the front row.
Oh my God.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely. I loved that. I love moments like that. That's why I love the theatre.
Oh.
So you can't stop and start. You just keep going.
Oh,
that's
my
it.
God. How old was the boy, the actor?
He was about, he must have been about 12, 13.
Oh, what a wee shame.
It was a shame, but absolutely hilarious from my point of view.
Please tell me it was opening night or something as well. No one's going back to that. Oh.
Just a bit of a barf,
Fucking hell.
What can you do? And rotating around.
Splash zone at SeaWorld. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Bring your ponchos. That's awful.
Oh, God. I love it. That's why I love the theatre. If it fucks up, you just keep going. You've got no choice.
I love a good jobby story, a good spew story. I do have a jobby story to add to the whole
Let's hear it.
Jobby bonanza that we've got going on here. A couple of years ago, I worked away down south, and the whole crew got put in. Well, most of the crew, we got put in a Premier Inn, because we're filming around this area, and I'm sure one night we had a big party, loads of drinks, went out in the town and came back and stuff, and then so this must be the Saturday night or something. Monday morning at work. So basically, the rumour went around the crew that someone had done a phantom jobby in one of the corridors of the hotel. Outside. So we'd all gone to one of the guys' rooms for the party, and then we'd all left. Yeah. And the jobby was directly outside his room. But it wasn't his jobby. He didn't do it. I think it was some sort of revenge jobby. Right. Yeah. And then and that was hilarious. It was just like, right, okay, so someone on the crew is a phantom jobbier. It was just doing it whatever. But then a couple months later, a random jobby appeared on one of the floors of the honey wagon that we were all sharing. Which oh
my god!
A honey wagon, for anyone that doesn't know, is just, it's like a Portaloo toilet on wheels that they can take around with them. And it was just like a jobby in the middle of the wagon, and it was like, oh, the phantom shiters came back. It was honestly, that job was made just for
like
that.
It's Did it look like it was on like an on purpose jobby at the side, or like a wee slip?
Oh no, on purpose jobby. Like, it was planted there. So like I can just see, like, basically like the little emoji turd, just a little whippy just sat there. Oh, I totally, do you know what? Speaking
brilliant.
about this, yeah, phantom jobby. I haven't thought about that in ages as well. Oh, so good. Oh, keep it up, whoever you are.
Love a good jobby joke.
Love
What
a
are
good
you on
jobby
about?
joke.
It's great.
Keep up, whoever you are. I know exactly who you are, and I know who you are, phantom jobby.
It gives everyone something to talk about. There you go.
When I'm old and grey, that's what I'm going to be telling my grandkids about. The phantom jobbier at work.
You're, I was thinking, right, so, you know, everyone's like, because, you know, everyone's been bored and stuff like that, and watching, like, you know, loads of Netflix and all that kind of jazz. Mm-hmm. So I was like, right, well, you know, like Tiger King and all that kind of stuff, which I haven't watched yet because I don't want to do it.
Why?
I know, I can't, because everyone was talking about it.
You love
it was
big
too
cats.
much, and I know, but it was a whole, you know, everyone was like, you must watch this at the same time, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to watch it at a later date.
Yeah,
I always do that.
Something
comes out, there's big hype, I'm like, give it some time and then watch it later.
Yeah, totally agree.
So I decided to go, no, I'm not watching any of that. I'm going to hit up Star Trek. The old Star Trek.
Oh, very nice.
Like old school, you know.
Uh-huh.
Captain Picard and all that kind of jazz, Captain, you know, Janeway. Mm-hmm. And I've got... oh, I can't believe I'm saying this. Right, so...
God.
Here
we go.
So there was an episode, right, from Deep Space Nine. Mm-hmm. Okay, which is like a spin-off of Star Trek.
Yeah, I remember
And right, so I'll give you a little bit of background so you can understand why I was crying. Okay, to this, because it's pathetic. It is pathetic.
Okay.
I know. So you got Captain Benjamin Sisko, main guy, and he's got a son Jake that works on the ship, and they're in the engine room, right? And something claims the life of Sisko, and he's vaporized by an energy or something like that, and he gets lost in subspace, like stuck in time. Mm-hmm. The father. So he's gone. He's like, bye, hey. And Jake's like, oh shit, I've just lost my dad. Oh fuck. And the episode plays out, so it's like years later, and he's like, oh, you know, still don't have my dad, getting over it, all that kind of stuff. But his dad keeps coming back, appearing to him in different moments of time. And he's like, hi, son, how you doing? What are you on about? I've been away for ages. I don't know what you're on about. And Jake's like, mate, have you seen my face? I'm like 40 now. Last time I saw you, I was like 17. And his dad's like, oh shit, where am I? I'm like floating through time. He's got no concept of time at all. And I was like, right, I was like, I quite like this concept. Anyway, so it cuts to the son being like 70 or 80 years old.
Right.
And he's chatting to this wifey, and she's like, oh, tell me your story. And he's telling her about this. And the dad appears again, and he's like, oh, son, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. He's like, you're really old. Look at you, you're 80, and I've lost all this time with you. Oh, shit. And the son's like, yeah, you have, you dick. And I was like, you fucking, where you been? Look at me now. Look at me now. You keep appearing and all that shit, and you're fine. You've not aged. I'm 70. What are you on about? And so he decides to basically take some potion or whatever that can send him back in time to tell him not to touch whatever it was that made him evaporate into space.
Right, uh-huh.
So he does that. So that happens at that moment. So that whole time period of his life is gone for the son. It's gone. But Benjamin Sisko has that memory in his head of seeing his son like age up to like 70. Mm-hmm. And I was like, bursting crying. I was like, oh my God, it's so sad like that. And I was like, why am I crying? And I couldn't help it. I was like, mascara running down me, all that. And okay, this is the beginning of lockdown, so I was like, it's very emotional. Oh my God. And I was like, well, that's what it did to me, all right? Deep Space Nine made me cry.
Jesus Christ. I mean, the way that you've just described it was not... Right,
no,
son.
It's not.
Right, son,
it's
how
not
you
very
doing?
emotional. But you should watch it. It's called The Visitor. All right, just
right.
I know. But anyway, so that was one thing that made me cry. But the rest of it's lovely, even though every third episode is about a virus.
Very apt.
What are you on about?
Yeah. I mean, they got through it.
But I've been sticking to that. I've been watching that quite a bit, and also getting back into the old X-Files as well.
I have also been watching the X-Files again. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, excellent. What season?
1.
Like what, the old X-Files?
Yeah. Season 1.
Oh.
Very old X-Files. What?
Can I ask you, do you remember, right? And it's one of the most fucked up episodes in the X-Files. And it's called, what's it called? Home. And it was a bunch of hillbillies. It was a family called the Peacocks, for some reason. Mm-hmm. And they were like a bunch of farmers that were left, not left a house in a decade. And they were revealing like a long history of like incest, all that stuff. Do you remember that?
I don't.
And it was these brothers, and they were like, they're all fucked up and that, and they'd been in a house, and they lived with their mother.
What season
God, it's
is
disgusting.
it? What season is it?
Right, so season 4.
Right, okay.
Season 4, and it's an episode called Home.
Okay.
And I always remember this episode as giving me absolutely horrific, giving me nightmares. So anyway, I ended up watching it not long ago by myself. And just scared the shit out of myself, pretty much. And I was like, I'm not doing that again.
Did it live up to
your
memory?
You should watch it. It's brilliant.
Live up to your memory.
But do you know what? The special effect makeup in it is fantastic. It's amazing for that side of it.
Yeah.
But the story of it, the brutality of it is disgusting. It's just. It gives you the book.
I've never seen that one. Right, okay.
Yeah.
That's
God, watch it.
I mean,
yes.
I've gotten sucked into Disney Plus over lockdown now. So I'm currently on season 15 of The Simpsons. Watching all that again.
Nice.
Just really easy watching. Like,
yep.
I'm really bad with watching things. And I haven't seen a lot of really good TV series. Like, I've never watched Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad or,
Well, I never watched Game of Thrones at all.
No.
Good on you.
Touching on it earlier, when it was at its, like, most popular, I didn't want to watch it because, to be honest, every cunt spoiled it every week. Like, posting things, memes, all this sort of stuff. So I didn't want to watch it at the time in case it got ruined. But now it's obviously been finished for like a year or however long, and I've just not picked it up. So
you're not missing out on much. It's not that good.
No, don't let my dad hear that. He has just binged it over the last 2 weeks. Binged all of it and loves it. So
fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. Somebody's got to watch it.
Oh, predominantly my dad.
Well, there's people out there love it, and I'm the same as you. Like I have watched it up until a certain point, and then I lost interest.
Yeah.
I was like, this is too slow. This is boring. The shit out of me.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening, and they're just. But fair enough. Yeah, I totally get you with that.
Yeah.
So I've avoided that as well.
So, and obviously, kind of series that I've seen before. It's a comfort thing because, to be honest, when I'm working, when I come home at night, I'm not going to watch something I haven't seen. It's just more like, it is comfort viewing. Put something on that I've seen before. Mm-hmm. Family Guy, American Dad, fucking The Simpsons. Nice. Like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, whatever. It's just watching something that
Buffy.
I know. Oh,
Spike.
Do you know what?
Oh, Spike.
Oh, God, Spike. Or Angel. Oh, Angel. Really want to watch that again. And Angel, obviously, the spin-off series.
Yes.
As a whole, anyway. But I'm just bad at getting into anything. One thing I did watch that was new over lockdown, Unorthodox on Netflix.
Oh,
about
right. I have not seen this.
The Orthodox Jewish girl who escapes her sort of Semitic life and her husband, and escapes it all. It's fucking great. Like I'm just so fascinated with.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right, I might check that out for something to watch.
Yeah, I'm really fascinated with kind of Jewish culture like that, and it was just really, really great to watch. Really interesting. A lot of things I didn't know about it and about the people, so really, really cool. When I first read up about it, I actually thought it was a documentary. Didn't realise it's based on a true story though. But yeah, really, really good. So give that a watch if you've got time.
I will. I will try. I've got to admit, I've been trying to avoid watching anything that's related, to what's happening right now. Or any like horror kind of things, and apart from the X-Files, that was once off and never doing it again. Just because I'm like, I think we kind of need comedy.
Yeah.
We need more comedy during these times to kind of keep our minds off it. And I think this is, a good time and I know a lot of people that have been kind of writing up kind of shorts and all that stuff that are comedy related, which is quite good.
Yeah.
Which is kind of refreshing. I mean, that's hard to do. Comedy is very, very hard to do.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it should be more of it. And I've been indulging in South Park quite a bit.
Gotta love South Park.
Revisiting South Park.
I hope Matt and Trey never change. I hope their comedy never changes. I hope that they keep pushing what's wrong and what's right. And I just love them. I think they're fucking great.
And that leads me on to there's a game from South Park called The Stick of Truth.
Oh yeah, I have played it.
So good. I've been playing a bit of that, and also Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Oh, here we go.
That, I mean, it's not something I would usually play because I like something silly.
Yeah.
Because I get really, really frustrated. It's kind of like, you got missions, you got battles, all that kind of stuff, and it's like, you're like a pirate, and you're like, right, we've got to clear out the land and fight these people and all that stuff, and I am the fucking shittest assassin going. So I'll poke my head out around the corner, like, oh, you didn't see me, and everyone's like, I'm like, oh shit, and here's me scrambling up a wall, trying to get up it, and I just can't move, and I cannot, sail a ship. I've discovered I'm quite bad at sailing a ship. I can't get away in time, and I just get blown up, let everyone down. So that was quite disappointing. But I'm sure with time I have, I will progress. So, have you been playing any games at all?
What have we been? So obviously Maddy, my boyfriend, he PC games. He's gotten really obsessed with his PS4 recently. Playing, what was it, Red Dead Redemption, and I've just bought him the new Last of Us, which has just arrived today.
Excellent.
And it was for his birthday, which is in a couple of weeks, but he wanted it now, so he's playing that, and I'm sure he's playing that right now. I mean, I used to love playing games. I just don't. Again, it's just not having time, so I just didn't continue it. But in saying that, we bought a Xbox, so like the original Xbox.
Nice.
We bought one of those consoles, and I bought the original Sims for that Xbox. So I was playing that at the beginning of lockdown and making my family and having a baby and burning the house down by accident. So that's what I was doing, and progressing my career as a mad scientist. So that's what I was doing. Yeah. And also Grabbed by the Ghoulies, for anybody that remembers that game. It was created by the people who created Banjo-Kazooie. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we've been playing that. So I mean, I've not played it actually in a couple of weeks now, but yeah, that's my gaming level, is retro games, to be honest.
Good.
Yeah. That and the N64. So
well, you've got to indulge in it. We've got time to, so why not?
I mean, one of the days I was playing The Sims for 15 hours because I was just so into trying to make a baby and progress my career. So I know, sad, so sad. Oh, I'm glad that you've been skating again and like getting right back into
Yeah,
it.
no, it's good. It's definitely helped kind of just something to do and also to keep, a good frame of mind and keep positive.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know what's going to pop up, and I'm hopeful that there's going to be, in a good couple or month or so, or even less, it could be something that pops up and unexpectedly, and you're like, there you go.
Just get you out of the house.
Then you look back and you're like, what was it? What was I, moaning about? What was that? And then you're like, oh shit, all that free time's gone.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed for that.
I know. Well, this is it. I'm looking forward to speaking to some of our friends and other people and bringing them on board and chatting about, what they've been up to and just finding out different perspectives and just opens your horizons a little bit, doesn't it? So
exactly.
I'm looking forward to it.
I was going to ask you, have you seen? So I was kind of looking about. Oh, it was a couple of things I saw on Twitter that people posted, and there was something called a microshell, and it's a protective suit that's designed for concerts and clubbing. Have you heard about this at all?
No, I haven't, but...
Oh, right, I'll send you the link. So it's from a design company based in LA, and they've come up with this product. It's essentially, you're wearing a massive kind of mask all in one over the head, kind of like spacesuit.
Wow.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
But it's got 2 canisters at the side, and it's one for drinking and one for vaping that you can insert, and it comes in tubing underneath the suit.
Wow.
So you've got a wee like straw, and then you can vape at the same time and all that stuff. And it's got filters and all that kind of stuff, and it's got LED lighting on the suit as well, so you can change your frequency so you can still rave, but you're in a bubble, and I just got me thinking. I was like, right, I says that's fine. But what happens if you have a little spew?
Oh.
So you spew and it hits the,
just
hits the shield.
Spew back up the tube.
Just spew. Yeah, exactly.
Back up the straw.
What are you going to do?
Oh my God.
Like, that's it stuck in there.
Oh,
that's
Jesus.
it there.
Oh, that
so
reminds me
they're
of
on it. I'm not joking. They're trying to push this, and they're really serious about it, because obviously they're like, shit, we need to get people out clubbing and dancing, because obviously that side of the industry is really hard because you've got so many people, and you can't make people social distance. Like, say you're out in the Bongo and the Cowgate, in Edinburgh, whatever nightclub. It's like once you're drunk, you're like, whoa,
your inhibitions are definitely
that's
a lot
hard
lower,
to control.
isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
You just want to hug people
that's it gone.
and see everybody, and I didn't really think about clubs actually. I thought one thing that I did think about was strip clubs. It's like, oh, they're not really going to be able to do any of that anymore. But I didn't actually think about normal clubs. Like, that's a bit pish, isn't it? Oh, that makes me think of all the poor 18-year-olds. All the people turning 18 in 2020 and they can't even go out clubbing.
They're just going to be out on the streets, out in a park, drinking old school style and peeing in a bush.
I mean, sometimes I just miss being that simple. Just going out and having a wee drink outside. I mean, sometimes I still ask my pals if they want to go down the park, but yeah. I mean, I've got a back garden. I could do it in the garden, I guess, but it's just not the same.
You're fine. You've got a garden. You're all good.
I can't really pee in one of our bushes, though. That just doesn't seem right. Can't pee in our rose bush. That's not right. I can't do that.
Yeah, well, seeing as you've got a toilet inside, I'd be worried if you decided to pee in your bush in your garden.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not the same as
it's not the
reliving my youth, is it? So...
With your shiwi.
I mean, I pee like I've got a child's bladder. So, and as soon as I drink, the seal is broken.
That's it. It's done. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I definitely need
one
to invest
can
in one
and
of those.
I'm away.
Oh yeah, I just need to look at a can and I need to piss myself. So, can we edit that out?
Nope.
It's gonna be a lot of that.
But yeah, no, that's great. I think I didn't think we should go into for the first podcast go into all the guidelines that are coming out and all that. I thought we could touch upon that with having some guests on from the industry, and as you suggested, like some I'll Be Your Mirror as well with the lovely guys from that company.
Kirsty and Stu.
Try and get them lovely Kirsty and Stu, get them involved and see what their thoughts are, and also just a general kind of catch up as well and see how they're doing.
Yeah.
But I think that's quite a good. It's our very first podcast, and I think we've done all right. Well, obviously we're going to listen back to it and cringe.
I am so nasally.
Just for the voice thing, but
I cannot listen to myself. I'm going to let you listen to it and tell me if it's okay or not. I hate listening to myself. I sound like I've got like a trunk, like an elephant trunk. It's so weird. It's so nasally. I definitely... I don't know. It's weird perceptions of myself, but...
Well, like, you're fine, because when I listened back to our first recording, I was like, oh my God, I've got a witch's laugh. I was like, oh God, here we go.
The two of us, I think the two of us together are definitely a pair of cacklers. We do like a cackle.
I love a cackle.
Yeah, we are definitely witches brew. I think... Next time I'm going to bring another glass of wine. I finished this basically within the first half an hour.
Oh, so, yeah. Need to top up.
Yeah, I'm going to keep the bottle at the side for the next time. And then...
That is the requirement, everybody. If you're joining us on the podcast, you have to have a glass of wine or beer or whatever your tipple is. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, that's grand. Thank you. Honestly, I'm so happy we've actually finally done this.
No, so am I.
At least get something out there and get everyone involved.
Exactly.
So it should be interesting. New venture, new times, and
exactly, it's exciting.
Yeah, adapting with the times. That's what I like to see.
Broadening our horizons, and I'm looking forward to what we're going to create and who we're going to speak to, and just having fun. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm excited about.
Keeping positive mind, positive outlook, and also I think it's quite a good platform for, if anyone, instead of doing all these WhatsApp groups, everyone's going to put in their thoughts and feelings and, all that kind of stuff. Right, we can have them on the podcast and chat about it openly.
Yeah.
So everyone can hear and, and just so everyone knows that they're not alone in, the questions or the thoughts that they have.
Yeah,
about the whole situation.
Yeah, I think there's something more genuine about listening to people speaking and, rather than just like texting someone, emailing someone, whatever. There's something nice about actually hearing it in someone's voice, and obviously because what we've chatted about has been unscripted, which is why I tend to ramble on constantly. So I will get better as time goes on, but the thing, like, I
think
you go.
We're all good. It's the first one, right? And I think that, we'll have people on, and obviously we're going to give people the platform to, talk about what they want to talk about, if they've got any issues or anything. Doesn't even have to be industry related or to your work. Just anything you want to talk about in general that we can discuss. Obviously we're happy to do so. So yeah, please do get all your, oh God, I sound like a twat now. Get all your comments in below. Oh, get it on. We've got SoundCloud, we've got YouTube account, we've also got an Instagram account as well, which is all there. So leave your comments and anything you'd like us to talk about in the next podcast. Always. We don't bite, so that's it. Any checks, media, if you're looking for us, and this is a Brawdcast podcast. God, that sounds wanky.
No,
but anyway, it is what it is for the first one. Way.
Well done.
Thank you so much. Awesome. And catch you on the next one.
Woo. See you soon.